Yo, if you randomly found this video, don't switch now or your mom might slap you. Welcome to the No Politics Podcast. I'm your boy Faking No Moves.
I'm WorkinGenius.
And we are here with another weekly dose. If it's worth talking about, we talking about it. And this week, we talking about Kanye West.
What we talking about?
Pete Davidson, a.k.a. Skeet Davidson. Y'all all know how I feel about him. He clapping back. Finally,
right? Yeah, I was gonna
Some
say.
people been waiting for this, and we got to shout out Eric B. He not here this week, but he'll be back next week. He called it. He said the only thing that's needed is Pete Davidson to roast him and come back at him.
Mm-hmm.
So, how you feel about this shit?
I mean, I don't even think he roasted him the way, the way he could roast him. I don't think it was really so much a roast as opposed to him just speaking up and addressing the situation.
True.
You know? And
it all came out himself. Speaking up for himself as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and he says as much in the text messages. We could pull up the text messages and share it. Do you want me to just read the text messages?
Yeah, read them.
All right, so I'll read them. I'll read it word for word. This is Pete, 8:09 a.m. to Ye, right? And just to be clear,
8 a.m. Damn, this was early morning smoke.
Yeah.
This kid finally had his funniest joke. He finally made the world laugh.
You hate on him.
He finally made the world laugh.
I didn't even think it was hilarious.
I give him credit. That was a good one.
I didn't necessarily think oh, this is some hilarious shit. You know what I mean? It was more like, this is cool. You know what I mean? I'm glad he spoke up. All right, so I'm going to go through it. So, yo, it's Skeet. I'm going to stop right there. First of all, the fact that he addressed it as such just goes to show,
he's being funny, bro.
But not only that, he don't give a fuck. That's the vibe I got. Yo, it's Skeet. That's what you want to hear, right? That's what you hype about. Cool, I'll give that to you. You know what I mean? He's not even tripping off that.
As a comedian, he actually probably appreciates where Kanye's going with this Skeet thing.
He absolutely does. So, I guarantee he does.
I'll give him that.
He don't take him. That's the other thing. He don't take himself too seriously.
I respect.
If you know his comedy anyway, he's not. He don't take himself too serious. Yo, it's Skeet. Can you please take a second and calm down? It's 8 a.m. and it don't gotta be like this. Kim is literally the best mother I've ever met. What she does for those kids is amazing, and you are so fucking lucky that she's your kid's mom. I've decided I'm not gonna let you treat us this way anymore, and I'm done being quiet. Grow the fuck up. Oh, you using profanity? Where are you right now? That's Kanye. In bed with your wife. Sends a picture. Do we want to stop there? Do we want to discuss? Keep going? You want me to just take it through the whole thing?
Nah, what you feel about that? Because to me, that was funny. That was a good one.
Yeah, I think it's
because he was being funny already. And to be honest, that whole Kim's such a great mother. You're lucky she's the mother of your kids. Dude, you sound like you've always fucking loved her, and you're finally with your dream woman. Just relax.
I mean, maybe he is.
He knows she's a good mother. From the point that he had kids with her. He's just Kanye's upset about not having certain things on his terms and feeling like his opinion doesn't matter to her anymore. You know what I mean? But continue.
Okay, so he sends the pic. Kanye's happy to see you're out the hospital and rehab. And Pete says, same here. It's wonders what those places do when you go get help. You should try it. Second of all, I don't know about you, but I think I've heard Pete Davidson enough that when I'm reading these text messages, I absolutely hear them all in his voice. It's absolutely Pete's voice and tone. I literally hear him in my head as I'm reading this. You know what I mean?
I don't really know his tone, but I guess, yeah.
I hear
personally, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's 1000% his vibe. I hear it. I'm in LA for the day. If you want to stop being a little internet bitch boy and talk. Then he goes, you don't scare me, bro. Your actions are so pussy and embarrassing. It's so sad to watch you ruin your legacy on the daily. Then Ye goes, "You're more than welcome to come to Sunday service." Pete goes, "Why don't we meet after Sunday service and Saints game? I'll be at the BHH." Do you know what that stands for?
Nah.
Okay, "I'll be at the BHH. We can have food and talk it out in my room. Privately, one-on-one, man-to-man."
Beverly Hills Hotel.
Sounds right. That was, damn. If that was a guess, you fucking nailed that shit. As far as, like, I'm concerned, like, that could be totally wrong.
Because if I'm Kanye, I know BHH, I'm pulling up, maybe. No, I'm pulling up. I don't think Kanye pulled up.
No, he absolutely didn't. "What you're doing to your family is dangerous and going to scar them for life. Please handle these matters privately, bro. I beg you." Ye goes, "You want to see me? Come to Sunday service." "This isn't public, dude. I'm not here for pictures and press, which is obviously all you care about. My offer stands. I wish you'd man up for once in your life. Let me help you, man. I struggle with mental health stuff too. It's not an easy journey. You don't have to feel this way anymore. There's no shame in having a little help. You'll be so happy and at peace. You have no idea how nice I've been to you despite your actions towards me. I've stopped SNL from talking about or making fun of you, which they've wanted to do for months. I've stopped stand-up comedians... Where is it? Where am I? I've stopped stand-up comedians from doing bits about you because I don't want the father of my girl's kids to look bad out there. I have your back even though you treat me like shit because I want everything to be smooth. But if you continue to press me like you have for the past 6 months, I'm going to stop being nice." And I believe that's the last text.
And from that last text, I was like, all right, Pete finally, like, stood up for himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he put his foot down and it's like, yo, bro, like, because I feel like the same way I feel like he's always been a fan of Kim and she might be his dream woman. Like, he kind of always looked at Kanye probably like this polarizing figure as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, yo, dude, like, you're ruining your legacy. Like, I don't even want to go at it with you. I let you do whatever you want, but, like, chill, you know?
Yeah.
That's how at least that last message came off. Early on, it still was a little tongue-in-cheek, like, hey, yo, it's ski,
Yeah.
blah, blah. You know what I mean? That's why I said. So Kanye, man, like, I don't know. Like, it might be the act. Like I said, he might just be dragging it because it gets the fucking attention, you know?
Mm-hmm. And Donda 2 still hasn't. I mean, it's dropped right on STEM Players, or it's not finished. Do we know the progress on that?
I don't even know.
As much to keep buzzing, and
I only heard snippets of, like, the Vori song, obviously.
I can't wait till it drops so I can hear it in full.
I'm about to cop a STEM player. Like, it's been a couple weeks. We might have to.
I don't know. We're getting desperate out here. But okay, so two things. First of all, I don't like that Kanye for weeks has been all about the smoke. Apparently, like, where you at? He told you where he was. He showed you where he was. Then he says, pull up after Saints game, whatever. Come to Sunday service. That's the only way. Like, bro, don't come at me with all this smoke. And then the moment I tell you, not only do I show you where I'm at, but then the moment I tell you, I give you the opportunity to meet up with me, tell you where I'm going to be at, now it's come to Sunday service. Bro, pull up on me. You've been talking crazy. Pull up on me.
Yeah.
I don't like
this
that.
won't be public. We can have food.
Mm-hmm.
We could just talk or whatever,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Or scrap. Who knows? Like,
Who
but
knows
it's not public. Yeah.
But
like,
Kanye's just like, yo, nah, he was so dead set on the Sunday service shit. Like, and maybe it's because obviously in the text, he's really not giving Pete anything. He's just like, come see me.
Yeah.
Where you at? Come see me Sunday service.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, you could tell, like,
but that's a whole different tone than the tone
for
he
someone
was
who's
prior.
had a lot to say. That's awful, a little bit
awful timid of you.
Energy.
It's awful timid
energy
of you. Yeah. So,
and to be honest, he's probably just triggered off the whole Kim not letting his. Well, supposedly it was mainly North, but this also probably stems from the TikTok that came out of Kim and North. And Kanye probably had a situation where he expressed how he felt about it, where it probably didn't come off nicely. And North probably herself don't want to go. And Kim was like, the kids are coming, but North's going to stay behind. And Kanye don't understand that probably North right now is scared to see him because he's upset.
Yeah,
you know, like, as her father's
It
upset
probably
about the
feels weird for
situation.
her. You know what I mean?
So, and Kim probably don't want to break that trust with her daughter to tell
I
her like the
understand that
reason
too.
she's not coming is because she's scared.
Exactly.
You never know.
There's times as a child of
That's just the father in me, the parent in me.
No,
Like
I mean,
reading.
as a child of two separated parents, when I was a kid who had a custody thing with me, I can absolutely attest. Sorry, Dad, if you watch this, but like there was sometimes I just didn't want to go with him for the weekend, so my mom would cover for me, like, oh, he doesn't feel like it, or oh, I'm taking him here, or he has something. Where she covers from, because I don't want my dad to feel bad, because obviously he looks forward to seeing me every weekend because that's the only time he gets to see me. So I understand, like you said, not breaking that trust, covering, and like, yeah, like I totally get that if that's the situation.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of that perspective because, like I said, I got daughters as well, and I could understand if I felt like how Kanye felt, and I was strongly like putting my opinion out there, and kind of at odds ends with their mother.
Mm.
Like I could imagine being in that situation, like, but I would think of it from that perspective. So I would even just reach out to my kid directly,
Especially North should be old enough, like you could talk to her directly.
Yeah.
Soon, she's definitely old enough to understand what's going on. But that's a part of like what Pete kind of alluded to when he's like you're like gonna scar them for life, but like not necessarily scar them, but like North is old enough to understand what's happening, and like this isn't a good look whatsoever to like drag it out in me. Like it's bad enough for kids with like split parents battling over custody that don't do it in the limelight. They still deal with the
because mind you, me, if I can understand if my kid did that TikTok, I probably wouldn't feel good about it either. Even if my
just to be clear, explain the TikTok if nobody's seen it. I'm not gonna insert the TikTok. I don't feel like I don't want to be spreading.
And honestly, I don't think there was nothing wrong with the TikTok except the song choice.
Okay, it's like I fell in love with the emo something,
girl,
right? Girl or
girl,
boy,
like so it's like, so I guess the perspective, the way it looks is like, oh, a little girl talking about falling in love with another girl. Like she shouldn't even really be thinking about that at her age.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily it. I just think it was probably a trending song on TikTok.
That's the innocence of it, cool. And that's the fucked up shit about.
And that's it.
The climate of music today, bro. I turn on the radio and "Girls Love Girls" where I'm from is on as well too.
Yeah, but
and I don't like that shit either.
That's a whole nother conversation though, because I don't have a fucking problem with that. Why? Because if a kid likes someone that's their same sex, cool, whatever. Like by age 9, you know if you like boys, girls, you know what you like. You might be a little confused maybe if you're not sure, because everything around you in like a heteronormative world, I believe would be the way to call it, like where it's so much more seen as normal or acceptable to be heterosexual. You might be a little confused if you're like, wait, like everyone around me likes the other gender or the other sex, and here I am, I kind of like the same one or whatever. So like to me, I like when I was 3 years old, I knew I liked girls. Like that wasn't like I knew who I had crushes on. I knew I liked the Pink Power Ranger. I knew I liked Kelly Kapowski. I knew, you know what I mean? Like you already know. So like I don't have an issue with the song like Girls Like Girls or like I fell in love with the emo girl. First of all, I don't even know if she's even thinking of that, because when kids make TikToks with a song, they're not like it's a trending song. It's just, probably,
I don't know. It's touchy for me because but I don't have a problem with the song, but my kid actively like playing that record and like why do you relate to it? Like,
it's not about necessarily relating to it. Do you relate to everything that like you hear about shooting people, killing people?
Nah, true.
No, it's not about necessarily relating. It could just be like, I'm vibing with this, or this is a good song. It's poppy, it's catchy, whatever. You know what I mean?
It could be hard though for a parent and especially a father of a daughter to wrap his mind around that though. Like,
oh no, absolutely. I mean? Like I understand. Like I have a sister, a younger sister, and my dad, like he always tells me like there's a significant difference in raising you and raising your little sister. Like it's such like a it's such a culture shock almost. Not it wouldn't be a culture shock, but it's
because
such a
bro,
like
you
a
start to
jarring
worry
difference.
about every little
Every
thing.
little detail, because
It's
we're in a
ridiculous.
world
It's ridiculous
that it's more
where
difficult to
they can
be.
get taken advantage of, and I hate to even say
Exactly.
it like that. Like,
But
men
that's the
can't
world we live
either.
in. That's the world we
But
live in.
bro, yeah, like especially like if there's men out there who are fucking scumbags and
Plotting. Yep.
ruthless, you know,
Facts.
and then you think about like you see this child who's your daughter from a baby being so innocent to have to grow and become this strong, respectable woman that don't like that could just take care of herself. You know, that's your job to raise them to be that. You know, so like any little thing you start to like overthink
it
in a nurturing way. You know, so
Yeah.
I can see, to relate it back to the Kanye shit, like maybe that triggering Kanye.
No,
And just making him have this episode
and then
where he's just
it probably
can
triggers
change his mind.
Kanye. It probably triggers Kanye more because, like you said, the song choice of "I Fell in Love with the Emo Girl," because Kanye has been on this hyper Christian wave thing, that like homosexuality isn't something he's likely willing to accept. And now here's the thing, like,
I don't know if it's that.
Well, I thought that was the point you were making.
No, I just think it's just very
of...
sensitive when it's your child and she's of that age, you know?
Okay, so do you think his issue is her being attracted to anyone, or her specifically being
I don't know. I
singing
just
a
think
song
it's
where
more
the
so
attraction is
singing the
to
song that the subject is about that and putting it out there to the public and everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, well, I mean, I understand, and I agree with Kanye's general not wanting his child on TikTok or social media, and we've had that conversation as well on the podcast before, where like I totally agree with him there. I don't think a 9-year-old should be on social media.
Tons of friends who have been gay. Gay people have been instrumental in his career, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah. So
through fashion, through anything, you know what I mean? So
agreed.
I don't think it's that.
Okay. So it's the idea of just your little girl talking about being in like with anyone
on social media.
On social media. Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I totally agree with that and understand it from that perspective. I wouldn't want my child on social media at 9 either. We've discussed this. I am more okay with it. I am more okay that Kim was clearly a part of it as a way to kind of
and the name of the account is Kim and Norton Kim.
Boom. I didn't even know that.
It's actually so they share the account.
Okay, so I think that's very important because, as we touched on in that podcast episode, I think that if she's going to allow her to be on social media, she needs to be involved. Don't just let her be going off doing her own thing. Make sure you're double checking everything that's getting posted, whatever. Because it's one thing, and this is the thing about building trust with your child and raising a child, and this is the parent I hope to be in a way, is when my child wants to do something, unless I have amazing reasons for why she shouldn't, I feel like I would try to not just shut it down completely, because I don't want my child to feel like I'm not listening to them or hearing them. And I don't want to feel like I'm completely limiting their expression if they want to express themselves making fun videos. You know what I mean? To North, it's probably as innocent as making fun videos. A lot of what we consume these days are short, quick videos on social media. We all consume that content these days as adults. So it's normal for kids to do the same thing, whether it's YouTube. They're not sitting in front of the TV the way we did. They're sitting in front of phones, computers, YouTube, stuff like that, and consuming the content that way. So yeah, they probably want to make similar content. I don't think that's an issue. Yeah, I have the issue with being too young and doing it unsupervised and potentially putting yourself out there in a harmful environment that could be social media.
Exactly. That's the exact point. And one thing about the parenting thing that I said I wanted to piggyback off is that no matter what you feel as a father, like wanting to be that great father and have that connection and everything that you said, there's no denying that a daughter will always be able to connect with a mother and have certain conversations that are just more natural and comfortable than they'll be able to have with their father, regardless.
Absolutely. That's an
You know?
excellent point. As much as you probably fight to kind of for it to be an even balance, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. A girl just has that connection. Similar to how a boy might have, I don't know, a boy is kind of attached to their mom too sometimes, though. I just think the mother role, like, and Kanye makes the point of, like, the imbalance. I think Kanye, like, had a little rant. I could pull it up if I have it here. Let me
stream of consciousness.
Share this. Let me share this, actually. Okay. I guess this was a text he sent to Kim. When I say bring my kids somewhere, I'm not going through this no more. Why the fuck is it up to you where my kids are if we so-called have joint custody? So before even reading the caption, a lot of the joint custody thing, like, it's such a slippery slope, because I think it is true. Like, when parents split, the child by default pretty much always ends up with the mother.
Of course.
Right? So it's tough, because sure, maybe that should be something that should be explored more, maybe why, or, you know what I mean? But it just isn't 50-50 the way people want to act. Like Kanye seems to be under the impression that joint custody means 50-50. And while that would be nice, it's just not how it is right now. It's not where we are right now in the world. And I think there are valid reasons why. You know, you could call it a double standard, but I do think there are valid reasons why a mother should be kind of first in line to kind of have primary custody, I guess you would call it.
Yeah. And I feel like, you know, I could understand why people could feel like, okay, they're not pleased with the idea that he's attacking Kim's, like, character as a parent, as a mother. But at the same time, you have to kind of, like, applaud him in a way for wanting to be in his kid's life, at least, you know?
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah.
But it's like, at what cost? Because, like, oh, are you like both parents can be great parents. Like, it doesn't have to be one's better than the other. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And also, you can be part of your kid's life, or be making attempts to be part of your kid's life and not having it drag out on social media. Yeah. Like, if you're making these cases, right? Like, look, I'm doing everything within my right, trying to see my kids, trying to be in my kid's life, and Kim won't let me, then you know what? That's something you save, you put it in a file, and when you go to fucking court to deal with it, these are the examples I got. Boom. I texted her this. She never got back to me. She ignored my text messages asking to see my daughter. I was supposed to be able to see her. She ignored my text, never got back to me. I wasn't able to see my daughter. This has happened on multiple occasions. And you present that in court. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The fact of the matter is, every man thinks about having kids with a woman, and if it don't work out, that woman being the perfect woman who's not going to take you to court, you're going to be able to be on the same page. Bro, that's 1 in a million. Mm-hmm. We can all think that we got one that if something ever went wrong, that they won't, you know, but that's 1 in a million. You know, a lot of men go through this. It just happened to be that Kanye's going through it with Kim Kardashian. Like, you know?
Okay. Do we want to, so Kanye spoke out,
after made a bunch all of videos. This, he said a prayer.
No, he said a lot before even he got to the prayer. So let's, do we want to share that now?
If you want. He blacked. But I understand. Control your narrative, Kanye. Control it. But, like, do it in a more, like, secure way. Like, you don't have to say, like, oh, she's a bad parent or nothing because she's deliberately trying to keep my kid away from me type shit. Like,
all right, here we go.
Called different people I knew, and the best advice I got right now was from Tory Lanez, and he just said to pray and ask for God to speak through me. You know, I got 4 children, and there's so many people who don't have a voice and have the opportunity to be able to speak up. And just, God, if it is in your will, you know, touch the people that are currently watching, my children, whatever sleepovers at, wherever they are at, the various nannies that watch all the children, and touch them and say, please bring my children to Sunday service this morning at 10 a.m. You know, God, this is out of my hands. It's up to you. This whole conversation of custody, this whole narrative, gaslighting, you know, all of this. It's like right now, this is up to you. I thank you for putting me in a position to be able to make Sunday service and put this online and have my family, you know, be there. My children be there to hear about God, to sing about God, to sing about Jesus Christ, for us to be able to have the first right, the freedom of speech in America, to still talk about God out loud. This morning, God, please, you know, there's no reason why these young children, upon their father's request, shouldn't be allowed to come to Sunday service. At this point, it's going too far. God, please. The boyfriend texts me, antagonizing me, bragging about being in bed with my wife. I thought it publicly for a year and a half. I've been dragged, and how she's not my wife. She don't have her last name. And now he texting me, talking and bragging about how he's in bed with my wife. And I'm like, well, who's watching my children if he's texting me, bragging about being in bed with my wife? And I thought this wasn't my wife no more legally, since I got I got the lawyer to finally finish the divorce. Because every time I finish the show, the Free Hoover show, the next day she dropping her last night. Every time I do something positive, it's some negative that's coming. I go and get the laptop from Ray J. Then she joking about divorce. I go and get the lawyer, change the lawyer so we can finally do the divorce. And then somehow I'm the one that's the stalker. God, I just need to protect my children. You protect the children. I know our nannies, some of them are Christian. You touch them, please, God, today, and have them bring my children to Sunday service this morning. The devil ain't gonna win. You get what I'm saying? This is gaslighting. Kim gets black people out of prison. You know who puts black people in prison? The person that the boyfriend has a tattoo of, Hillary. You understand the setup right here? You understand the narrative right here? God, please, in your son's name, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, please make sure my kids come to Sunday service. Please. Amen.
Nah, the face when he opens his eyes is dumb funny.
That was the first prayer that had everyone from Larry Hoover to Hillary Clinton in it.
Bro, all right, my first thoughts is...
I loved it.
You loved what?
I just loved the whole thing, the whole concept of him praying on the video for
I thought that was corny as hell. I think obviously he's got ulterior motives. That's not a genuine prayer.
It's not a genuine prayer. It's not like him being in his prayer bag, but it was fun. That was funny to me. So maybe that's why I love it. But I don't want to I don't want to make a joke of it, because there was certain things he said in there that I understand. Think about it. We just talking about a mom's relationship, a father's relationship with their kids. And then he has the worry of nannies being around his kids and his kids not getting that natural bond. Think about it. One day Kanye's not going to be here. And you know how special it's going to be that his daughter got to witness all his Sunday services and things like that, and speak about her father and talk about things like that and what made him special. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother deeper perspective I'm going with that. But like I feel like Kanye is thinking on that level in some ways, and that's why he's like, I just want my kids to be there and get to hear
Okay, but
songs
there's
about the
healthy
Lord.
ways to go about that. Like doing that on Instagram is not accomplishing anything. And there's no, what he's trying to accomplish is he's trying to get people to be on his side by making that video. That's not a video that says I'm really trying to be in my kid's life. That's a video saying I'm trying to show and tell ya that I'm trying to be in my kid's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then there's the part about he's talking about how Pete's antagonizing him. Like, bro, you've been going at antagonizing him for so long, and now you're mad that he took a shot at you. Yeah, obviously she's no longer legally your wife. He was doing that to fuck with you. Yeah. You know what I mean? The same way you're calling him Skeet, he's doing that to fuck with you. You know what I mean? So I didn't really understand that.
That's definitely, I felt the same way about that topic.
I don't really understand him praying to God to bring his children to Sunday service, because that's not how God works. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I get what you're trying to do, but like I learned a long time ago, when I pray to God, man, I'm not like, you can ask for specific things, but you can't be disappointed when you don't get those specific things, because it's going to happen on God's time, how God wants it. You know what I mean? Of course. You're not about to have God like just touch the nannies and bring the kids. Like, it's like, you shouldn't be disappointed when that don't happen.
And our experience of life. Yeah. So it's like, it's not really like him just doing something today for you.
It's going to make it happen.
It's a process. But you don't think God's not used to this? Like, yo, Kanye,
don't think he gets enough
like, you don't think when Kanye said amen, God responded like, yo, Kanye, that was a lot to take in, like, but I understand. I know, I was there. I saw the Larry Hoover concert, and she did try to make a headline the day after, and Skeet is fucking with you, but I got you just in due time. Like, yeah, haven't I always been there for you, Kanye? So,
and here's the thing, chill. Like, you gotta trust and believe that it's gonna play out the right way, but you gotta play your role at the same time. You gotta do your part, because you antagonizing Pete is not of God. That's not some shit where you're like in tune with God. Do what's right, and you know, it'll play out how it plays out. You know what I mean? But you can't antagonize and then run to God like, God, he bullying me. Like, you can't do that. God, he just, you know, like, come
God,
on.
I know you saw what happened today. Yeah. You saw that selfie he sent me, God.
Yeah, like, you can't go about it like that. So,
but yo, kudos to Skeet. That was a funny one when he did that. Just to kind of like,
I thought
tie it together as well, like, and I don't know the right word, but who gives a fuck?
I thought we didn't even really explore the text messages like fully, but I thought it was great from top to bottom in terms of he took his jabs, he took his little shots, but then he also tried to like level with him and be real with him, and
but Kanye's definitely not trying to hear that.
He's not trying to hear that
at that time.
You think Pete's trying to hear everything?
Who knows?
Kanye's
maybe now with? It's been a couple days. Maybe Kanye sat with it. You know what I'm saying? But he did tease today that he might have like a Pete Davidson situation going on at Coachella. He posted a picture of the claymation of Pete Davidson's head in the dirt and him standing there, and he put the caption, "Are you ready for Coachella?" So I don't know. The saga continues. Dun, dun,
I mean,
dun.
There's more though. There was this.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot.
There's a lot, and I'm not gonna bring all of it up. I'm not even gonna play the other videos unless there's something specific you want me to play in the other videos.
The pins that he posts that his daughter wears his face and her mother's face as pins, and he put a whole message about.
Yeah, that was I don't know the context of that.
He's just like, so yo, this is what my daughter like wants to see, like, you know, like her parents together type shit. And
yeah, I'm not adding context to that because I don't know the context of it. But there's this that I wanted to post. This was pretty or that I wanted to talk about. You posted this, right?
Yeah, I sent it. Kanye posted it
into the podcast chat, and Kanye posted it. Yeah. So Pete Davidson enrages audience with jokes about having sex with a baby. Kanye, Yet another reason why Skeet got to stay away from my children. Oh, and nobody noticed that he ain't show up to SNL because Mr. I Can Help You With Meds had a mental breakdown after we ran him off the internet. Skeet, you not built for this. I already blacked the Super Bowl out on you. Apologize to your family for being in your family. Not gonna lie, that last line's funny. But that reminds me of the Michael Scott line in The Office where he tells Toby, like he's talking about how the office is a family, and he's like, the office is like a family, and Toby works in HR, so he's really not a part of this family. Also, he's divorced, so he's really not a part of his family. Like, fucking just shits on him. That's what that reminds me of. But I digress. So yeah, what thoughts on this? Because you shared it, so.
I'm just saying Kanye's back at it. Like he was quiet for a couple days, so this was part of the series of tweets that, post on Instagram where that eventually he posted the Coachella thing, and he kept. So it's like we thought, at least my perspective a little was like Pete stood up for himself, and now Kanye probably gonna take a step back and be like, you know what? Let's handle this in a different way. I'm not even gonna go to the public no more. But then he came back. So to see this, now, do you want me to give my thoughts on the headline?
Whatever you want to give.
Because the headline is fucking like
crazy.
Horrible.
And here's the other thing: we don't know where the headline comes from. We don't know where the headline comes from. We don't know if it's clickbaiting. We don't know the context.
That was another point I was gonna make. So like, this headline is horrible. There's no context of this joke or any joke that is about anything like this. That's funny to me. But Kanye's doing the same exact thing where he's been attacking certain social media platforms that write certain headlines about him and Kim. And then he's just going and posting a fucking another platform that has a headline that's trying to
that aligns with what he's
on, what type of time he's on. Yeah. So
here's what I don't like about the caption that Kanye wrote, which is he talks about how he ran Pete off the internet and that he's not built for this. But Kanye, you was just helpless, coming to God humbly, praying to him on the internet. Like acting like you're helpless, like you're the one being bullied, and now you come back with this energy.
But the thing is, he didn't pray because of Pete Davidson. He prayed because Tory Lanez told him to let God speak.
Yeah, but in the prayer, he was complaining that Pete was fucking antagonizing him. And it's like, bro, what's good with you?
Here's another caption he said, though, that I had saved that was in reference to a quote you said about basically Kim was like, why are you complaining when you were just with them in the morning taking them to school? He said, I guess OK Magazine posted it, and Kanye wrote in his caption, OK Magazine, what do you mean wild claims? My kids were not allowed to go to Sunday service yesterday, and there's multiple times where the schedules were changed last minute, which alienated me as a parent, which is illegal. Thank God my family has been broken. My name has been dragged. Okay,
no, he doesn't say it's not thank God my family has been broken. Thank God my family has been broken. My name has been dragged and dropped. The boyfriend been trying to play me since SNL skits. I was called a stalker by random has-beens. There's multiple attempts to gaslight me. Skeet called this legally single person my wife. I am not ramped up. I successfully avoided doing anything that would give them reasons to put a restraining order on me. She thinks it's funny to try to drive me over the edge, but I didn't let them. Y'all can't judge me, my state of well-being, based on the amount of time I leave on Instagram post up. Oh, okay. Y'all can't judge my state of well-being based on the amount of time I leave an Instagram post up, or me using my platform to ensure that I stay consistent in my children's lives. A lot of baby mamas play this across the world, but nobody finna play with me or my children. I know that Kim and Skeet are pawns in the bigger game, Lord. Forgive them. I made those videos because she ignored my text about bringing my children to church, then had her boyfriend text me and brag about being in bed with my wife, quotes, then tell me he could help me. Okay,
quotes.
I'm glad you said this because I did have this pulled up and I didn't bring it up myself. But I'm glad you shared this. So okay, so what are your thoughts on this?
Like, bro, like it's just like he's standing firm in his stance, bro. Like, pretty much, like, and now he's like reversing the roles. He's like, oh, yeah, he's calling her my wife, but she's legally single, like shit like that. Like, to me, it's
Yeah,
pretty
but
fucking funny.
he's
But I
just
love
being
that he went
fucking,
into the prayer again. It was like, forgive them. I know they're just a part of pawns in the bigger plan and shit.
which
I
is
don't know.
horrible to me,
I just thought it was
honestly,
pretty
because
legendary that he's like doing shit like this, bro.
that's horrible to me because I feel like, bro, you gotta humble yourself. You can't be so arrogant that you think you talking to God on some like, yo, forgive them, God. Like,
Yeah.
bro, like, what about you, dog? Like, what do you mean, forgive them, God? They know not what they do, type vibe. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
But also
like,
from what I got was like, bro, like, okay, y'all trying to make a narrative. Like, he's stuck on other people making narratives where he's like, yo, y'all trying to say like, oh, I went on Instagram and I could have handled it better. She stopped answering my text messages, so I went to the next best thing to get my message out. Like, that's
yeah.
his perspective.
But
So
that's not a way
so
to get.
we
That's a
might
way
not
to
feel
get
it's
under.
right, but he feels justified in a way.
That's not a
You
way
know?
to get your message heard by her. That's a way to get under her skin so she responds to you. You know what I mean?
True.
But like, so I don't know, but just to kind of close out, I wanted to share this last one because Eric, who couldn't be here tonight.
Shout out Eric, bro. See you
shared
next week
this.
though. He gonna have his
Shared
thoughts. He
this.
still got his thoughts on this.
Yeah. I'm
this
sure
shit, too.
he'll address like some things we maybe glossed over or forgot to address next week. But I wanted to share this because he actually shared this, and I thought it was an interesting point. Kanye does this thing where he highlights very big, complex, and true topics that pertain to race and gender within culture. But then he centers himself at the forefront of it as if he's a martyr and not just a dude arguing with his baby mother. They're trying to take the black dad out of the home. Yes, this is true, and something we saw especially throughout the 80s. But what does this have to do with you antagonizing your ex and her new man on Instagram for the last 3 to 6 months?
Because like I said, though, everyone thinks they wouldn't go through it. And then it happens, even if you're Kanye West.
Yeah, I mean, that's valid. I just feel like
It's just
I feel like this
because he's Kanye West, he has a platform that's fucking huge. It's all playing out in the public, which
well,
whether we
he's
think it's right or
choosing
not,
to put it out in the public.
Facts.
I'm sure there would still be bits we would see because, you know, the paparazzi media, they're always hounding him, Kim. You know what I mean? So I'm sure there would be bits and pieces, but it wouldn't be this bad.
But there's a part of me that feels like Kanye feels liberated, if that's the right word, when the public actually does know, because maybe dealing with it behind the scenes would even hurt his mental stability even more, like having to deal with that and just deal with it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but getting mental stability because the public on Instagram and social
Knows
media
everything about
agrees
you.
with you
Or
is
not even just the fact that it's
not
out
the
there.
way to. Yeah, but that's not. He just wants people to agree with him. That's what he wants. He wants people to agree with him.
That's how you feel. I mean, you could be right.
I mean, I just feel like he wants people to agree with him to the point where he's potentially hurting his own relationship with his kids, and you know, hurting the chance of working out a potential solution with P and Kim. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
and I just
honest,
feel
though.
like
I hope they could just work it out and just have a regular relationship and help their kids, and that's it.
I don't think
just
Son wants to work it out,
bro. Like,
I don't think Son wants to work it out. I hope
he comes to his senses. Like, bro, this shit ain't even worth it, bro. You gotta
Well, I mean,
take
he's taking advice
everyone.
from Tory Lanez.
Everyone got to take their L sometimes, bro. She didn't come to Sunday service this week. You got to take that L. Just hold it. Like,
I mean, I think it stems from, first of all, he's probably not happy about the divorce. It probably leaks from all of that. He's not happy about the divorce. He wasn't the one that wanted the divorce, right?
Yeah.
And now she has a new man. Not that he doesn't have his own woman, you know what I mean? But that shit hurts more. And then you got to think about having a man around your kids.
And he's
especially
so
a man
controlling,
that's...
and now he feels like he can't control this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't watch the nannies who are watching his kids. He can't watch the man who's with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
He can't watch the publicist that's around all the time giving bad advice in his opinion. He can't watch the mom who's trying to exploit the family in his opinion. Like, these are his opinions of the people. He's said that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like now he can't control that, and he's so controlling that it probably drives him crazy because these are his fucking kids, bro, you know?
Yeah.
But
and I think that's valid. I think he needs to start thinking about solutions and what he actually can do to make the situation better, instead of just feeling like, oh, I have no control. I need to lash out and express my frustration over it. You know what I mean? Think about real solutions and have real conversations with these people so that you can get back into your kids' life.
Eric would have been like, fuck that. Man up.
I mean, it's true. Like, because that's the thing. You can't play both sides, bro. You can't play the victim. Meanwhile, you've been the one being the antagonist the entire time. Now you playing the victim that you can't see the kids. And, like, I get it. Like, that's got to be tough on a father, especially when you were together off rip with the woman.
And supposedly at some point during the whole situation, he got suspended from IG or some shit for like 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. So he just recently, I believe, got suspended from Instagram for 24 hours.
After the whole shit? But before the post from today about the whole Pete Davidson headline and the Coachella announcement.
I think it was after that.
After that, he got suspended?
Yeah. It says a spokesperson for Meta tells us Kanye's recent post violated Instagram's policy on hate speech, harassment, and bullying. As a result, we're told his account has been suspended for 24 hours, where he won't be able to post, comment, send DMs, among other things.
They're giving him a warning.
Well,
we see where Mark Zuckerberg stands.
I mean, these social media apps do have policies, you know what I mean? And I get it. If I'm fucking going off, and someone with influence like that, if I'm going off about
we just saw it happen with Donald Trump.
Yeah. And I mean, and
for a long time, Twitter's had him shut down.
Yeah.
That's Jack Dorsey and them. So these people have this kind of power, bro, to kind of silence you if they don't.
I mean, we agree with nobody reads them, but we agree with the terms and conditions.
And
right,
to be honest, you can't argue against someone being like, yo, we don't agree with the fact that you're sending like hate speech and shit like that. Because as much as I love Kanye, that's what he's doing when he's going at Pete. Mm-hmm. You know, and my perspective, coming from where I come from, I understand it's some beef shit in terms of, yo, he got beef with him, and that it is what it is.
He's talking shit,
you know. But in the grander scheme of things, like, you know, in the corporate world, on the internet, and having to worry about cyberbullying and shit like that, you got to kind of control that, because you let him get away with that, then you got to let everybody, and this shit could get out of control.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. They're not going to take your page down if you're sending these DMs, if you're sending these things through DM. It's that you're publicly posting them where millions are getting to see it, and it can have an influence and an effect.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
That's
what it is.
But like influencers.
Yeah, but like if I was talking wild shit about you, in our DMs, unless you report me, it's just between us. Yeah. I'm not getting taken down for that. You know what I mean? It's when you put it out on the public forum, I guess. And so, like, here's the thing, it's difficult because you need regulations on the internet, right? We've discussed in the past how a lot of people on the internet talk crazy and they forgot what it's like, or maybe they don't know what it's like to talk that same talk in front of someone in person and potentially suffer the consequences of that. You know what I mean? Free speech is cool. You know what I mean? I agree with free speech. But also, with your free speech comes the freedom of that person to react in real life. You know what I mean? So whatever comes with you talking your shit, popping your shit in real life, if you get smacked, you get smacked. It's all fair game,
It's
right?
like the
not that I
it's the
endorse
unspoken
violence.
rules and laws of life in general.
Yeah, but a lot of people
Like,
don't
you
know
give
this,
respect
especially
where respect's given, things like that. And it's true. There's some people that don't even understand that, don't know that. Like, but like to me, it's like how you don't just live by that in life. Respect.
Yeah, no one. There's those unspoken codes, those unwritten rules of you could call it the street, or you could call it just
soft
interacting.
about having common sense.
Yeah, there's nothing soft about having common sense, and if someone's respecting you, you give them that respect. It's not soft if. It's soft if if you was popping shit and talking wild shit, and then you don't have that same energy. That's a different.
That's different.
Conversation,
that's different context. Yeah,
and that's also like if you was talking it directly to them. Now, if we're having a conversation and I'm like, I kind of don't fuck with this guy, whatever. Like, let's say I'm talking shit about Kanye right now. Yeah. Now, just to be clear, I'm not talking shit like I don't fuck with Kanye at all. I'm gonna smack him when I see him. I'm not talking crazy, obviously. But let's say I'm like, I don't really fuck with Kanye. And then I meet Kanye and Kanye's treating me nice. He's like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm not being fake.
Yeah.
He just showed me respect. So I'm gonna show that respect back. Yeah. Now, if he speaks up about something that I had a different opinion on, I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, actually, when you did that, whatever. If it's my place in that moment under those conditions and circumstances, right? Yeah. But there's nothing soft about that. It's just respect where respect is due. And a lot of people,
because when I meet Pete Davidson, I'm gonna tell him, nice to meet you. Nah.
I like your jokes. Like,
you a funny guy.
Yeah, but if a lot of people are being brought up in this internet age where to them it's just funny. Oh, it's just, he's just talking on the internet. Same way like on Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, right? You just talking your shit over Call of Duty or whatever. Like, yeah, it's funny. It don't hold no weight. It don't mean nothing.
Yeah,
that's how a lot of people see it. Oh, he's just trolling, blah 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 blah. But it's like, to people our age, maybe our generation and up, like, we see it differently. Like, if you gonna have that energy over the internet, if we don't know each other like that, for you to be talking like that, then like we expect the same energy
when we see
in
you.
person. Like, yeah, but
don't talk to me, or don't talk to me at all, because it's already understood.
Exactly, it's on site. It's on site. Yeah, exactly.
We ain't fucking with each other.
Exactly. So to bring it all back to this, it's like, when you're on the internet, though, there has to be ways to regulate that, because the internet is not in person. And so when someone's talking crazy, they can't get smacked if they behind the screen. So the internet has to do its job in regulating that. I'm all for free speech, but when you're talking crazy on the internet, there's got to be some sort of limits and boundaries. And while I don't agree with like shutting people down, if you're spreading hate speech and there's no like real point to what you're doing, you just wilding, I'm okay with it, I think. So, as long as there's context for it.
Mark Zuckerberg sent a warning shot at Kanye. Chill. Yeah. Chill, bro.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Tone it down a little on my platform. Yeah. It ain't your platform.
Before
Kanye's gonna start uploading prayers on the stem player.
Yeah.
God,
just to get his message
today,
out.
Skeet done. We're gonna be remixing them shits.
Just before, I don't like this part of the prayer. I don't vibe with that part. I don't relate to that.
We drop it
just
low.
Before we wrap it up on this whole thing, I don't know if you got anything to add.
Nah.
I wanted to say about Pete Davidson, like, bro, I didn't know this, but you gotta respect it. Pete Davidson is 28 years old. Did you know that?
He's our age.
He's our age. And he's pretty fucking successful for that age.
Yeah.
He's also successful with women. He's 28. I'm not a Pete Davidson fan, but I respect what was going on.
It's funny though, because I know, like I said, like I've never laughed at any of his jokes. I don't really like know his comedy like that, but I've known Pete Davidson because of the women he's been with.
Like you gotta give some props to that.
I ain't gonna lie.
You gotta give some props to that.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So he's been on SNL for years. He's been doing these things for years. I randomly on my Instagram feed saw a video of him doing stand up at age 17, and I was like, incredible.
He from
bro.
New York?
Like, respect. He's from Staten Island, I believe.
Staten Island?
Yeah.
Okay. So
like,
it's always a New York person though.
But I just want to point that out because I didn't know till I looked it up. I'm like, yo, he's my age. He's taking that down with Kim. Like, that's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta respect it. He's been with Ariana. He's been with fucking Kate Beckinsale, who's
to put it into perspective.
Like,
to put it into perspective, like I said, it's probably his dream woman. Like, bro, when we was younger and we heard of Kim Kardashian, and we all know how we heard about Kim Kardashian.
Come on, that's
it was
the thing.
Like,
he was our age, the same way. He was our age.
So
he's
now
living
he's
it.
With
like,
her. Yeah, Kanye's tight. I feel you, Kanye. I know, bro. I mean, like, I understand. I'm the only one. Check YouTube. I'm the only one that understands you, Kanye.
No. I understand him. I just don't agree with how he's going about it.
I feel you. Yeah,
different ways.
He gotta sharpen up on that, or just fall back. It ain't worth it sometimes, bro. But yeah, that's it.
That's all we got.
That's all we got, really. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We see y'all next week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.